Hello everyone, welcome to Narain's Life with MS. I am Narain and welcome to Thoughtful Thursday. So, this Thoughtful Thursday, I was actually thinking about the fact that, we discussed quite a few things this week, right? In Truthful Tuesdays, we discussed the fact that I've lost my sense of shame. And then earlier this morning, I pretty much um, talked about a different part of that in, of course, what MS taught me. And so I thought, we can definitely continue on that tangent for Thoughtful Thursday. And the one thing that I did want to mention or talk about this Thoughtful Thursday was this idea of, being outside your comfort zone and how MS as a disease really pushes you there, right? I mean, for me, being a person who rarely talks unless I'm with like some very select people, uh, I find it very interesting that, you know, it was only after I was maybe diagnosed and I started seeing the impacts of the disease on my body that I started opening up about it, that I started interacting with people. And in fact, interacting with people to the extent that here we are on a YouTube channel that I created where I discuss with you, about my journey with multiple sclerosis. And, just getting out of my comfort zone was definitely something that did take quite a bit of patience. It took a lot of time, and it also definitely um, and it was also bent on the fact that because I had lost my lost my sense of embarrassment, so to speak, right? My um, that pretty much prompted me to say, okay, I mean, considering that everything that could probably make me feel bad has already happened, there can't be anything worse. And as a result of that nothing can be worse thing, I think that also pushed me a little further out of my comfort zone. And then after, and when I say that it did take time, I mean, this channel could have very easily, and we're talking about 6 months into this channel could have very easily started at my around my 10th year, right, which would be around 2019. It could have started my first year, my second year, like 2009, 2010. It could have very easily been something that would have gathered time, um, you know gathered a little more agency of sorts. And not only that, but it definitely would have, it would have maybe had some amount of impact, because something or the other would have happened. But of course, when I think about the amount of growing that I had to do, the amount of having to not even having to stop looking at MS as a something to be embarrassed about, because it ended up being something that because it at least in the early years of my diagnosis, I would always look at it like that. I would not be very open to the idea of sharing my medical condition with people. Now, like I keep mentioning, there's nothing else that I can do. But definitely to be this open, even at this point in time, definitely did require me to understand that, the worst has happened. Right? I mean, it's I'm not, and I'm when I say the worst has happened, I just mean in terms of the fact that, you know I did get embarrassed. I did do things that, shouldn't have happened, but they did. uh, so as a result of that, there isn't anything that can actually make me feel worse than I already do. So after that, it became a lot easier to be open about my disease, my condition, and really adopt more of a role to make people aware, to raise awareness, to maybe even teach people about certain things that I would prefer um, people to keep in mind while they interact with me, while they talk with me or walk with me for that matter. So, all of that really puts it into perspective that, you know, um, that definitely MS making me lose my sense of shame, and for me having to pretty much internalize that and realize that, okay, if I can't find any humor in it, um, how can other people find humor in it, right? At the end of the day, I also do not want to be sort of like, the oh, poor you kind of person. So as a thing, I just decided to, you know, take it upon myself to actually find the humor in each and every situation. And that, I mean, I'm not all the way there yet. I do hope that over time this channel does get funnier and funnier. But at the end of the day, I am very happy that, I'm able to share my side of the story. And this is a part of the story that, started off as, you know uh, a journal, right? An online journal. Then it turned into a physical journal. And now it's become a video journal of sorts. So, um, this is also, I guess, showing growth in some way. And that is what I wanted this Thoughtful Thursday to be about. So, that is my question for you, my viewers, that when did you realize that you had to grow in some aspect to be able to actually enjoy whatever, like, to enjoy your life, right? What did you have to cross, or what did you have to learn, and what kind of barriers did you break down so that it became possible for you to um, do whatever you wanted to do? So yes, please do share your thoughts, your insights, and your experiences in the comment section so that we can get the conversation started. And with that said, this is Narain's Life with MS. I am Narain, and here's wishing you a good night, sweet dreams, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.